Election officials warn problems with U.S. mail could cause 2024 voting disruptions. This is by Jack Phillips via The Epoch Times. The coalition representing state and local election officials across the United States warns that problems with the nation's mail system could disrupt voting in some areas, with just weeks to go before 2024 presidential election. In a Wednesday letter sent to the U.S. Postal Service Postmaster Louis DeJoy, the National Association of State Election Directors and the National Association of Secretaries of State said they have ongoing concerns about USPS ability to perform ahead of the November 5th contest. Over the past year, they warned mailed ballots that were postmarked on time were received by local election officials days after the deadline to be counted. They also noted that properly addressed election mail was being returned to them as undelivered, a problem that could automatically send voters to inactive status through no fault of their own, potentially creating chaos when those voters show up to cast a ballot. In that time period, election officials across the country have raised serious questions about processing facility operations, lost or delayed election mail, and frontline training deficiencies impacting USPS ability to deliver election mail in a timely, accurate manner, the letter said. And further, officials have told the two associations that mail sent to voters is being deemed undeliverable at higher than normal rates, sometimes in instances where the voter is known not to have moved. And this has affected a range of election mail, including informational mailers about critical election information and voters' address confirmation cards as well as ballots, the letter said. Despite the alleged issues, the group said the repeated attempts to contact the USPS to resolve them did not result in changes, adding that the mail delivery problems result from a pervasive lack of understanding and enforcement of USPS policies among its employees. We implore you to take immediate, tangible, corrective action to address the ongoing performance issues with USPS election mail service, they said. Failure to do so will risk limiting voter participation and trust in the election process. Responding to their letter, the USPS said that it is equipped to deal with mail-in ballots, but the Postal Service said that voters who wish to submit ballots through the mail should not procrastinate. We are ready to deliver. We were successful in 2020, delivering historic volume of mail-in ballots, also in 2022, and will do so again November 2024, Adrian Marshall, Director of Election Mail Government Services, said. In December, the Postal Service said in a news release that it has consistently delivered mail and packages to 98% of the U.S. population in fewer than 3 days during peak volume periods. DeJoy responded to previous criticism of his handling of the USPS in Washington Post opinion article published in July, also noting that 98% of Americans received their mail and packages within 3 days. However, he noted that the service has suffered in recent times due to what he called degraded operating conditions. Although we have slipped recently because of difficulties of overcoming our degrading operation conditions while opening new facilities and repositioning existing ones, we will soon be back to a performance level that can make the nation proud, he said. The National Association of State Election Directors, described as an organization of state election directors, and the National Association of Secretaries of State, a coalition of the U.S. Secretaries of State, have not responded to Epoch Times' request for comment. And this is from the Epoch Times. Contacting USPS for additional comment on Wednesday, receiving no response by publication time. During the 2020 election, due to COVID-19 pandemic, election officials in multiple states expanded vote-by-mail efforts. After the conclusion of that election, former President Trump said the mail-in ballots can lead to election fraud. However, in 2024, he has urged GOP voters to vote by mail early, in person, or on election day itself. This is by Associated Press on Zero Hedge, authored by Jack Phillips via Epoch Times. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Finally, support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.